So, here we are. Good evening, everybody, on this beautiful Monday night. What is it? 3 minutes past 9. For those listening on the replay or watching on the replay, where the hell were you? Make sure you come and join us on any Monday night. I do this every single Monday night. I can see the emails going out right now to the email list as well. So, hopefully, people will get that in time to join us tonight. But if you are on the replay, come and join us every Monday, 9 till 10. We do this. We chew the fat about everything to do with the acting industry. I take Q&A. I play out some awesome clips from features I've done for members, and that's on this.tv. So if you're not even a member, you still get to benefit from some of the stuff we're producing over there that can really, if you implement it into your career, take your career further, faster. I did an interview as well with a member of our community on Saturday that I'm going to release soon after the read-through for the show that this person has just landed a huge role in. That's next Thursday. So after that, I'm going to be releasing this video. And this is someone from our community who I want to use as an example in a good way for if you act on this shit that we're going to talk about tonight and other stuff that I talk about all the time and that the guests on Acts on This.tv talk about all the time. If you really act on it, you don't just sit there passively watching and listening and thinking, oh, that's good in theory. You actually act on it. This person, 8 months ago, knew nothing about the industry, didn't even know what a casting director was, didn't have the kind of desire to go to drama school or maybe the resources to go to drama school, was like, oh, I feel maybe I should do that if I'm going to be taken seriously, but I don't really want to go, all this sort of stuff. Started joining the webinars, started joining this community, the mastermind sessions that we're doing, learnt from the people who were bringing on, but not only learned, went out and actioned it, and then within a year, this guy has just gone and landed a series regular on a huge ITV drama. Like, it's just so doable, guys. So doable. Like, just want to give people that inspiration, that motivation to go, oh my God, like, maybe now you're feeling like, your wheels are spinning, you're not moving forward, maybe you're not exactly where you want to be. How many of us are right now? But to show you that very, very quickly your life can change, like literally within the space of a few months. One opportunity can absolutely change your life and can change your life, not just in that moment, but for the rest of your life. So I can't wait to to put that interview out. I just hope people will actually, I don't know, just take it on board and go, right, I'm going to start working even harder. And loads of you guys, you're here on a Monday night, 9 o'clock, you're working hard, you're clearly dedicated, otherwise you'd be watching something that's nothing to do with this, I'll tell you what I did watch before, though, a bit of the Mars landing. That's been pretty interesting, isn't it? Seeing photographs from Mars, like proper ones this time. And also, Boris, what's he said, by the way, before I get into tonight's clips? What is it? Is it June the 21st? He reckons, like, that's it. We're kind of done. Everything's going to be kind of open and stuff like that. Because that's quite exciting, isn't it? Hopefully that's some light at the end of the tunnel that you can now use if you've basically been feeling a bit lost because theatres have been closed and, you've not really known where to turn in your acting career over the last year and a bit. There's still so many people in our community who have still booked TV work in the last year and a bit. It is out there if you want to go and get it. But maybe you've not been in the right space to do that for whatever reason. Hopefully now, hearing that, lockdown is only a few months till it finishes, maybe that'll be the thing that actually, gives you a kick up the arse to go, right, I need to get ready now, so I don't need to get ready then. Alex, how you doing? Hope you're good. Josh, hope you're good, dude. Clubs open on the 21st of June. That must be a good sign. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like, I don't know, it almost feels like the day that was never going to arrive. I wonder, do you know what I wonder, though? Everybody's been complaining, I get it, about lockdown, hate it. In a way, I don't know, I think I've seen some people, this is just brutal honesty, I've seen some people use it as an excuse why they're not doing what they want to do or why they can't do what they want to do, because it's not them, it's because of the situation, it's because of this person and that person, I just can't do it. I'll be so intrigued when the doors suddenly open, how many people who are whinging about it actually start going and doing the things they've been saying they can't do during lockdown. It'll be fascinating, or whether people will suddenly then go, holy shit, wait a minute, what? I can now go out and do this stuff, and then the fear takes over again, like it did pre-lockdown, when people still weren't taking action on their careers and doing the things that they should be doing to get where they want to go. I wonder if that'll kick back in again. And people will go, I have no excuse to not be doing these things, but I'm now going to allow fear now to stop me doing them. The usual fears that we have before COVID. It's interesting who will grab it by the horns and go, right, come on, let's go, full throttle. We shall see. All right, Alicia, how you doing? Maya, hope you are good. Whose birthday is it? Someone say it's the birthday. Happy birthday, Andrew. Right, I want to recap first of all who was on the call that we had last week with star of ITV's The Bay, Mr. Dan Ryan. Who was on that? Let me know in the chat if you were there. It was an awesome call. One of probably I think it was one of the most vulnerable calls we've had with an actor in terms of, Dan's working at the top of the game. He's starring in The Bay right now. He's got 32 years of TV under his belt, but he was just so super honest about sharing all of his flaws as well, all of his vulnerabilities. All right, Kev, everything that still gets to him, even though he's 32 years, into his career. A lot of the stuff that, was still, I guess, there before he even begun. Some bits are still there. Some remnants are still there. There's a lot of lessons to be learned around not worrying about other people's opinions of you. And that can still, sort of just wreck people's confidence. Worrying about what other people think. We talked about drama school in depth as well a little bit, and how, my kind of views on drama school. I don't think it's essential at all. I went to drama school, but I really don't think it's essential. I think to a certain degree it stripped me of any uniqueness I had going in, and I had to sort of recover that when I left. I had to find that again. And there were certain things Dan was saying that he didn't really deal with from drama school for 20 years. He didn't really get true confidence back. 20 years after he left. I'm like, oh my God. But it's just like, it was just true honesty. I just loved it. Josh saying Dan was so open and honest, by far my favourite. Incredible session with Dan, says Sophie. It was really interesting, wasn't it? I'm going to play a little mashup of it now. If you don't know what we're talking about, I'll just go head over to the website and show you. For anyone who's new around here, this is actonthis.tv, the website that I run, where every week we sit down with a top actor, casting director, agent, writer, producer. There's like hundreds of hours of content on here now with the biggest names in the game. But Dan Ryan is this guy here. If you head over to the preview section, is Dan as D.I. Tony Manning in ITV's The Bay. You can watch a little trailer for the webinar. That in fact you can't. I've just noticed that's 20 seconds. I've clearly uploaded the wrong. The wrong video to that. I'll have to go fix that after this. That should be a couple of minutes long. But yeah, you can go and check out after this broadcast when I fix it. You'll be able to go and watch the preview. If you're a member, you will find the full, what was it, like 2 hours, 2.25 hours or something in the members area. If you click on your premium membership, it's right at the top of our latest 5 features there. There's only one of you with the Bay actor Dan Ryan. That was something that Dan said at the very end of the broadcast. I always get people to give us like one takeaway. What's the one thing you want people to take away from this? And that there was Dan's takeaway. There is only one you. Ultimately, you bring yourself to a role in a way that nobody else can. You can deliver lines in the way that you see the role as you, in a way that nobody else can quite do that. He was like, it takes a long time to get that kind of confidence. Not compare yourself to everybody else, but it's like, when you realise sort of how unique everybody is, isn't it? I always say, like, what were the odds of being born? 400 trillion to 1 to become a human being, and your DNA is, it's like so unique. It's never existed before. It'll never exist again when you leave this planet. It's kind of like, you are special in that way without it all getting a bit ooh and woo-woo. Like, don't think that, I don't know, like you have to compare yourself to anybody else when you're going to audition for something. It's like you will bring yourself to a role in a way that only you can, and that is a gift. So I'm going to play you a little mashup of it, and then we're going to just we're going to dive deeper into 2 clips, 2 poignant parts of this interview. If you weren't there, though, and you've never seen us do these Zoom sessions, here's a little bit of what you missed. We do this every single week, and tomorrow night, my God, we've got a banger tomorrow night. Stick around. I'm going to tell you how you can get involved because you're not going to want to miss it. Let me introduce you to tonight's special guest. We know him from some incredible shows. We're talking shows like Mount Pleasant, Home Fires, Vera, Death in Paradise. He's currently starring as D.I. Tony Manning in ITV's The Bay. It's actor Dan Ryan. Dan, back in the house after, 5 years? Welcome back, mate.
I was applying for drama schools. They told me at school when I went to see the careers teacher, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be an actor. And they said, okay, here's this stuff about hotel management and journalism.
Nice.
Okay, so that's very useful. Thank you very much. Still wanted to be an actor. So I got offered a place at Lambda and I got offered a place at Mount View. I mean, nice. How? I do not know how. But Lambda was the one that I really liked. The prospectus looked cool.
If you have any advice on your first ever day of set, what to do, what not to do, or just any advice, really.
Don't think any questions too dumb. They're always going to assume that you've worked before, so you know the routine. And if you don't, just ask, and it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's everybody's first job at some point.
How do you go about playing drunk?
Literally just going off people I've seen and just how it feels, and just wanted it to be dirty and ugly and raw.
If you could go back to 16 with all the knowledge you have now, what would you do to create opportunities to get that first role?
I sometimes look at Twitter and go, they go open casting call for. I'm going, Jesus, imagine seeing that when I was younger.
How did you find the whole being the average guy kind of thing? And did you struggle with that casting at first? And have you made your peace with it?
You are the only person who would play something in the way you would play it.
Yep.
And that's special. That means every single one of us is special.
Boom! Honestly, some super interesting questions. Try to get as many people on camera as possible to chat to Dan, to chat to any of the guests that we have every week. And some of the questions on Dan's session were just super interesting. So I'm gonna dive into just a couple of things that you said that I think will just help people. There's quite a few people. It's been amazing to see. There's quite a few people in the community right now landing their first TV roles. I know Lawrence, I don't know if he's shot it yet, he's shooting EastEnders. David, I don't think he's started on this thing yet that you're going to find out about soon. There's a few people landing commercials for the first time. I had a commercial audition today, actually. You know what? I had my first Zoom audition today for a commercial. God, it just reminded me how mental commercial auditions can actually be. Do you know one good thing? I'll give you a little tip here. I don't even know if it is a tip, because it might have just made me look like an absolute knobhead. But these were scenarios that I had to audition for on Zoom today. And I thought, right, well, I've got a plain background in my kitchen. A pop-up background, like a proper, self-tape style, professional kind of background. I could use that if I want, right? But for the actual scenarios that I'm going to be playing out, there was 4 that they could have played out with you, and they said, we're just going to choose 2 at random. I just chose a virtual background for each one. One was the sky, one was a jungle, one was a yoga studio. What was the other one? The Northern Lights. And then during the improvisation, because it was all improvised, and God, to a certain extent, it doesn't bode well with me, a lot of that sort of stuff. I popped a virtual background on. Now, initially, I said, "Hey, listen, I've got this background. It might make it look a bit more realistic." And the casting director was like, "Oh, Ross, maybe you should take it off. It might be a bit distracting." But then the director, who wasn't on camera, sent a message going, "No, keep it on. It's funny." Because it was a comedic advert. It was quite funny. And for me, it just made me feel like I was bringing a little bit more, I don't know, I could believe in it a little bit more, because I wasn't standing, I was looking at the screen and it appeared like I wasn't just standing in my kitchen pretending that I am somewhere. It's almost like I could at least see myself a little bit on the screen within this place. So it felt a little bit more realistic. I think for me, I'm just experimenting with Zoom auditions still, just having a laugh, seeing what works and what might completely fail. But I think on commercials, you can take risks like that because they are just fun, aren't they? Particularly if there's comedy involved. Most commercials, generally, there's a bit of fun, a bit of improv. No one takes it super seriously. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not banking on getting anything out of it. It was just a good laugh. But that was a little tip that I thought, I don't even know if it's a tip, though. They might have just wanted to record it just to go, look at this dickhead. But it was, it was a little bit mental. But it was quite a good laugh. Definitely. Oh, what's Soleil saying there? Was it Foxy Bingo? Yeah, it was. Did you do it as well? I think a few people, and I think anyone around the north probably got seen for it because I think it's gonna be shot in Manchester. But yeah, it was that was it. Yeah, definitely. I just find improvisation in commercial auditions, I just find it's real hit and miss for me, because it's because the situations are so outlandish a lot of the time. I mean, I've done ones in the past. I remember doing one for Tetley Tea. You remember them little men, the little Tetley Tea men, who were dead little and lived in a cupboard and they just brewed up tea. I remember doing a improvisation for a Tetley Tea advert right at the start of my career. When you're buzzing for anything, come on, let's go, I'll take anything. And we had to pretend we were those Tetley tea men coming out of a cupboard for the first time in 100 years and looking around, looking up at the milk jug and all this stuff. And you're just a little bit like, this is so insane. Like, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? I just find it so much easier if you get a script. It's so much easier. You're like, hey, here's a script, say these lines. I did 2 self-tapes yesterday. The auditions have just started flying in for some reason now. I had 2 decent self-tapes over the weekend, one for Corrie and one for another drama. And when they're scripts, it's lovely, isn't it? Because like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what to wear. I know how to set the shot up. When you're getting on a Zoom audition for a commercial, they're like, 2 of these scenes are sat down. Today, the audition was 2 could be sat down, 2 are stood up. So then you're like, right, well, I've got to make sure that my laptop's set up so that if they want to start with the stood up one, I'm not fannying around too much. If they want to start with a sat down one, so much more uncertainty around commercials and improvisation. I don't know if I'm cut out for it nowadays. Back when I was younger, now I'm an old man. When I was younger, I was all up for it. Now I'm a bit like, oh, God. I'm in my kitchen and I'm supposed to be flying in the air. Right, here's the first thing. Just because, getting back to what I was talking about, because a lot of people are landing the first roles, Saleha, hopefully you'll get that part in the Foxy Bingo. You know, you'll get a gig out of that. We had a great question where we were asking Dan about, you know, if he could go back to his first day on set, sort of like what tips would he have? So for anyone, and let me know who's still waiting for their first day on set. Give me a comment. Just give me like a yes or a, I don't know, first day or something like that in the comments, just so I know how many people are here. Because this will be really useful for you. Because some of this advice sounds so basic, but I was afraid to implement some of it on my first day on set because you don't want to ask questions a lot of the time. You just want to. You don't want people to think that you're new. Alex has given me a yes, Mr. Hewitt. I'm sure it will not be long until you are rocking up on set, mate. But here's just some advice, just 2 minutes from Dan on what it's like for your first day. Rory's here. Check this out. Here you go. Here's a great question.
If you have any advice on your first ever day of set, what to do, what not to do, or just any advice, really.
There's no actor who's not going to say first day of school. First day of school. That's what it's like. It's like you've got your brand new satchel and you've turned up and you don't know anybody and you don't know necessarily who the teacher is, and that's what it feels like. And it doesn't ever not feel. I mean, I'm nearly 53, and it doesn't feel like, you know, it feels like that. And you are looked after. You know, they'll bring you a cup of tea and they'll bring you your breakfast if you want it. And you know, it is a spoiled, pampered, silly job on those levels. But don't think any questions too dumb. You know, they're always going to assume that you've worked before, so you know the routine. And if you don't, just ask, and it's cool. It's really cool. You know, It's everybody's first job at some point. And
that's so true.
It's actually a privilege to work with people if it's their first job, because you want to give them, if you've been around the block like I have, you want to give them a really nice experience. If it's 1 line or 10 lines or no lines, I want everybody who works with me, certainly, to have a nice time and go away thinking I'm all right. I don't know what you've done before. So I don't know that, you know, you might be someone who has just come from a lead in something. You've just done a play at the Royal Exchange, at the Donmar, and you're only doing a couple of scenes in it. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily know who you are. So don't presume that you have to kind of play some kind of status that you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are listen, you know, a show is only as good as however many people are in that scene.
I love it. The show is only as good as many people are in that scene. He said at the end there. So true. There are no small parts, folks. Definitely. I just thought it was a really, really great question. And just, you know, the whole theme of that answer, I guess, is just like, listen, like, don't put anyone on a pedestal, as in, like, there's no hierarchy. You're all just out to achieve a great scene. And ultimately, the biggest thing is if you just don't know, just ask. You know, literally, I've rocked up on some of my first jobs. And like you said there, they do presume like you've just done it before and you know where you're going. And so many times you just don't. And it's absolutely okay to go, I have no idea. Who do I go and see first? You know, sometimes you'll be dropped off on a location as well. Like, you know, if they're shooting, generally there'll be a base. If they're shooting a drama, there'll be a base. It'll normally be on like a massive car park somewhere. You'll get there, there'll be loads of trailers. You won't have a clue which is the production trailer, which is the makeup trailer, which is costume, which is your trailer. And sometimes there's not always, because it's so busy, there's not always someone there to meet you. So, like, just don't be afraid of asking anybody. Just go, listen, I have no idea what I'm doing. Who, you know, hopefully I'll have a name to report to. You'll be like, listen, I'm supposed to be reporting to Sarah. Do you know which trailer she's going to be in? As opposed to just walking around pretending that you're all right and you know everything's fine and just going, oh yeah, you're all right, yeah, because they don't know you need help. It's a bit of a metaphor for life, really. If you need anything, just ask. It's so much easier. But yeah, I can see a lot of people in the chat saying that Brendan says it's going to be his first day on set in the beginning of May. Nice one, Brendan. He was really lovely. He said, Wendy, how are you doing? Wendy, hope you are good. No small roles, only small actors. Still, hang on, what was going on there? I think I just lost my connection for a second. Now it's Facebook's done this thing with the comments again. Got you back. What was that? Small roles. This with me in everything I do. Still keep this with me in everything I do. I've got your comment now, Nicola. Fine. Yeah, no, it's true, isn't it? It's true. And do you know what? I think the smallest parts are the hardest by far. They're really the hardest parts. Full stop. You know, the bigger parts, when you've got more to go on, are often, you know, just a lot easier. You know, particularly if you're in a story for quite a few scenes and you've got at least a bit of a journey to go on. So many of the roles that I had, you know, still only up until like a couple of years ago, were always sort of like, you know, 2 scenes max, something like that. You know, it wasn't until a couple of years ago I started getting more than 1 episode of things, and it's really hard because you're just in, you're out, you don't know everybody, and that first day at school thing that Dan talks about there. You know, if you're in something a while, that goes away when you get to go back for a few days. For me, for many years of my career, it never happened. It was always first day of school, then onto another job that was first day of school, then first day of school. I never felt like I even got a second day at school. So you will develop confidence, though. You will develop confidence as you go through. Yeah, apologies if it cut off there. I don't know what happened there. My internet connection's fine. I think Facebook just went a little bit mental for a second. It was also great when he was saying what you say a lot, Ross. How on a Sunday you should be excited, thinking that this week anything can happen. That is something that stuck with me. So I interviewed Dan. I met him. We worked together on a show called Mount Pleasant that Dan did 6 seasons of. I did 1 line in. That was it. And I played that out on that webinar. I had 1 line as a waiter. My my 1 line was, ready to order? As this girl was crying, as Claire Goose, the actress, was crying at the table. There was Dan and Sally Lindsay. Yeah, we met. That was exactly it. We met on a car park. Literally, you know, just as I described there, I didn't have a clue who I was meeting. It was dark. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. We were going to this restaurant to film this scene before it even opened. And they were just so lovely. And it wasn't my first day on set, but I think I'd only done 2 other jobs before that. And they were just so nice and welcoming. And then I asked Dan to come and do an interview for ActsOnThis.tv with me in 2000. What would it have been, like 13, 14, something like that? Definitely 5 or 6 years ago. And he said the one thing then, he said, listen, I always get excited on a Sunday night when I'm not, he said, well, even when I'm not working, the thing that keeps me going is on a Sunday night, I think to myself, this week, anything could happen. And that's where I get this from. So at the start of most Monday night broadcasts, that's what I say. I say, guys, brand new week, let us know how your week has started. Anything could happen this week. And that's been inspired by Dan. That stuck with me for forever since I heard him say that. And that really is the case. Like, honestly, guys, anything could happen this week. It really, really could. You just don't know, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow. If you're looking for an agent, and you've been sending your stuff out, you don't know if that agent's going to reply tomorrow. You don't know if you've got an agent, if that agent's going to call with an audition for you tomorrow. You don't know if, you know, you've put something out on Twitter recently, a self-tape, you know, some sort of performance you put out. You don't know who could watch it this week, and then that could change your life. We know from having Joe Wilkinson on recently, incredible actor, that's how Ricky Gervais discovered Joe and put him in Derek. And then that led on to him playing Pat in Afterlife. Joe just put a video out 5 years ago, something like that. It had 400 views. That was it. He just forgot about it. One of those views was Ricky Gervais. So you just don't know. It could be that week for you too as well. So you know, you've got to just keep hustling, man. On set, always be humble, says Ian. Act like you're doing a service for everyone, not like they're doing a service for you. Never complain or badmouth actors or crew that you may have worked with. It's a small world. It's a small world, mate. Definitely. I completely agree with that. Without a doubt. Judi Dench got an Oscar for 8 minutes of screen time on Shakespeare in Love. It takes 8 minutes. 8 minutes, Gary. It's not bad, that, is it? I'd take that. I'd say that. I'd give him 10. I go, do you want me to do 10 minutes? I'll do that. Just the next clip. I mean, there was so much in this, but I just pulled one clip out, and again, it just hammers home just a little message about the opportunities that are out there that you can still find if you don't have an agent. Ultimately, if you don't have rep right now, I'm still seeing more and more casting directors now using and utilising social media to cast big projects. We had Daniel Edwards on recently on ActsOnThis.tv. He did a mastermind session with us 3 weeks ago. And, he cast practically, he's finished casting the main roles now. But he cast practically all of those main roles for something called Heartstopper, a brand new Netflix show. It's going to be huge, an 8-part Netflix series. He was looking for a lot young people, sort of 16, anywhere from sort of like, teens upwards. He cast so much of it via Twitter, via TikTok, Instagram, all these places they're putting briefs out, and a lot of actors feel that unless they're on Spotlight, that's the only opportunity they've got to actually find decent stuff. You've got to work harder to find the decent stuff that's not on Spotlight, but there's quite a lot of it out there. But here's a great question from Rory. I hope it's you who's Rory, you 16-year-old Rory. I don't know your surname, mate. Is this you who's going to ask this question of Dan about going back and giving his 16-year-old self some advice? Let me know. That's why when I saw your name before, I was like, Rory. Hopefully it's you. Otherwise, if not, thanks for being here, other Rory. That's absolutely fine as well. But here's another great question, and yeah, just a decent answer from Dan, because Dan uses social media a lot himself. If you're not following Daniel Ryan on Twitter, do, because he's very active on there, posts a lot of good content. But it's just a great Q&A from Rory. Here we are.
I was just wondering, if you could go back to 16 with all the knowledge you have now, what would you do to create opportunities to get that first role?
Like I was saying earlier, I think there are a lot, just things like, I sometimes look at Twitter and go, they go open casting call for. I'm going, Jesus, imagine seeing that when I was younger. That there's an actual audition that I can just find on Twitter by following casting directors and who are looking, and I go, you lazy bastards, why are you not phoning agents? What are you doing? But they're looking for new talent. When I started, it was totally different. Worlds apart from how it is now. But all I can say is, if you have got do you go on Twitter or anything? Because those casting directors are looking, these open castings are happening all the time, unless we can't find this and are you this from this ethnic background and blah blah blah, we need a 16-year-old guy for this, and there's so much there. I used to have to read the stage newspaper and kind of look at the back pages and go, magician's assistant, That was the kind of world when I was growing up. You're in exactly, God, you're doing Michael's classes. Well, they're going to come to you. You're already doing what you need to do. So, read that stuff, reach out to people, exactly what Ross says, and keep doing the classes, and just keep believing. Keep believing. If you keep wanting to do it, at some point, there has to be a breakthrough to be able to do it. I don't doubt that for 1 second. I put my glasses on to have a look at you. Yeah, you'll be all right, Rory. Yeah, you got it going on. You've got a good face. I like it. You'll be fine.
Boom, and it is you, Rory. You are in the chat here. Nice one, mate. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's just like, God, can you imagine? Like, I can, because I used to do it as well. Rory, you won't be able to imagine this. But, can you imagine, like, having to dig through the back pages of the stage? I used to get the stage every week when I was in sixth form, and I just landed an agent, like a, sort of like a young adults kind of children's agent. Really for background stuff, to be honest. That's all they really got me. But I felt like I was balling. I'm like, yeah, come on, we're doing this now. We're away. There was no Twitter. Didn't exist. There wasn't Facebook. Didn't exist either. There was just literally nothing. No Instagram, no TikTok, nothing at all. And you did have to buy the stage newspaper. I can't remember how much it was. I don't know how much it was. A couple of quid. And then literally, 75% of the stage would just be stuff, just nonsense, basically, that you're just not interested in talking about. Theatre shows that have happened, or I don't know, someone who's likes fell down in the middle of a production. So I don't know, just a load of nonsense, really. But then in the back were the gold pages. Well, they weren't actually gold, but they were like the pages you bought the newspaper for, and you'd go through it, and it literally would be stuff as shit as Dan said there, magician's assistant, all this kind of stuff, and you would just pray that one week you open it and there'd be some decent kind of TV job there or something that you could apply for. And very often there wasn't, but at least buying the newspaper made you feel like at least you were doing something towards your career. To think back then that you'd be able to pull a piece of glass up in your hand, this mobile phone, because remember phones back then as well just had like actual buttons on them and a tiny LCD screen. They weren't iPhones or anything like that. To think, God, you know what? I can just pull this piece of glass out on my hand and I can scroll through, potentially dozens of opportunities a week that are just put out into the social sphere. By big casting directors, though, I do see, big people putting stuff out. Shaheen Beg's often putting stuff out. People like Rachel Freck, Rachel Sheridan. I've seen, Daniel Edwards. A lot of really, really decent casting directors are putting stuff out, quite consistently. You should be utilising social media. And I saw Mark say that's why he started a TikTok account. I've seen a couple of videos, Mark. They're good, man. I've never, do you know what? I've not used TikTok yet. I've used it to consume. I've never made a TikTok video. I'm kind of I'm focused a lot on on this, on the Instagram account. I'm kind of building that right now. But I am seeing more and more people use TikTok. I might have to have a little dabble in that. And Mark, you just mentioned PCR as well. Yeah, he said I used to get PCR and then phone studios and have them fax me a list of films being shot. PCR. What did it stand for? What was PCR stand for? Because when I first started working in 2009 at Beverly Keogh's office, great casting director, and Michael Jackson, with a guy called Chris Maloney as well, their office used to get PCR. So I would, because it was dear, wasn't it? I'm sure it was quite expensive. Wasn't it like 20 quid a month or something? Which back then was a lot of money. Like, that's like, what's that, 11, 12 years ago, when you're starting out as an actor. I was like, God, right, that's quite a bit. But they printed it in red to make it really difficult to photocopy. Because when you photocopied the red text, it came through really faint grey, so you couldn't read it. That was like the best copyright protection they had back in the day. But PCR... listed sort of everything that was going into production and casting report, PCR. But it was often, didn't you find, Mark, that it was often just sort of like stuff that had already gone, they were sort of weeks behind. It's stuff that had already started casting ages ago. And then, because they used to ring Beverly's office and say, when, can we write this, in the magazine this week, in the newsletter, more or less. And they'd be like, yeah, fine, we've been casting it for 6 weeks. So it wasn't ever like bang up to date, and that's because there was no internet, really. It just hadn't kicked in at all. We were all still up on dial-up modems and stuff. I used to get the stage every week, says Jenya. Oh, it was a cracking day of the week. The stage just made you feel like you're an actor. It didn't. I never got a job out of it. I never got any opportunity out of it whatsoever, I don't think. It just made you feel like this is something that I should be spending my money on, because this is what it's what actors should be doing. And he said, 20 quid a month for PCR. Yeah, it's like a £5 a week back then. And God, look at that. You can get acts on this. You can get 50 coaching sessions from the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, and producers in TV on actsonthis.tv for less than PCR used to cost 11 years ago. That's a freaking bargain. Without a doubt. So if you're not a member, sign up. You can see the URL at the bottom of the screen now, actonthis.tv/live, to find out what's coming up. And to show you what's coming up, oh my God, right. I'm going to go over to the website. You've got to get involved with this, guys, because tomorrow night is going to be absolute fire. This will be one of the best sessions we've probably ever done, because of the value that is crammed into it. I'm going to play a trailer out in a minute, but there you go. You can see on my screen there, in 21 hours, 52 minutes and 17 seconds, we are going to be joined by not just Sophie Holland, who is an incredible casting director, but by her entire team. So this is like an absolute jam-packed like Zoom session. I don't know if we've never had five guests on a Zoom call at once. We have got Sophie herself. We've got Faye Timby, her casting associate. We have also got we've got, first of all, actually, we've got Annalie Powell. Annalie Powell is a casting director in her own right, but she's joined Sophie recently to sort of team up to cast some projects they're working on right now. So Annalie's not normally part of the team, but is for now. So Annalie Powell is a casting director in her own right. So is Sophie. Then we've got Faye Timby, who is Sophie's right-hand woman, is casting associate, along with Chandra Rueg. I don't know if I'm like completely murdering her surname, but Chandra's another casting associate for Sophie. And then we got Sophie's casting assistant, Frankie, who will be coming on as well. So we've got 5 guests tomorrow night for the price of 1. And we're going to be focusing on casting for, these guys cast the biggest stuff for Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all of the streaming services that are gobbling up all of this new talent. And these are these are some of the most supportive casting directors you'll ever meet in your life. They're just beautiful people who are just like, inside and out, just so supportive of actors, looking for new talent, giving people opportunity, making it fair, making it diverse, whilst casting some of the biggest stuff out there. And they just cast, what was Tom Holland's film recently? Oh, Mark, you might know. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. What was the film? Cherry? Was it Cherry or something? Or am I making that up completely? It had a red poster. They just cast that. The week after, Sophie, I've not put it on the schedule yet, but we've got Kate Morris from used to be Troika. I'm trying to figure this out. So used to be a Troika agent, now set up, when she left Troika, set up B-Side Management, which is a new agency. She is Babu Cisse's agent. Babu hooked us up with this. But yeah, Kate is absolutely awesome. She's going to be coming on next Thursday. And then next Tuesday, the schedule is right here. We've got Jill Halfpenny coming on the Tuesday after. That's the 9th of March. And then the Thursday after that, we've got Elizabeth Henstridge, star of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., coming on the 18th of March. There's actually four sessions that we've got lined up. Only 3 of them are on here now because Kate Morrison only... confirmed on Friday, so I'm just yet to put that on the schedule. But we've got an absolutely jam-packed schedule, basically, that you want to get involved with. I'm going to play the trailer out now of Sophie and the team, because I don't even know, like, logistically, like, it's going to end up when we've got you guys on screen as well, when we bring in people on camera. There's going to be like 6 people on screen at once. And Petch is going to have his work cut out when he's editing this. Anna says, Cherry, yeah, it was. Cherry. And B-side says, Alicia, so Kate used to be an agent at Troika, and then as they've established their own agency now. I don't know who else they rep on their books, to be honest, but if they took all their clients from Troika with them, it's going to be some really, really decent names, but we'll find out all of the goss. Can't wait for tomorrow night, says Kira. Am I saying that right? I always never know how to say names. Kira, I'm sure it's Kira. Wow, love Jill, says Rihanna. Liz's YouTube is so much fun. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, Elizabeth does a lot of vlogging around Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel, and brings a lot of the cast on and stuff like that. That's again what I want to talk to her about really leveraging the roles that you get, producing your own content in order to get more. She's got a great podcast now, and we're going to be looking at Elizabeth's screen tests as well. Because they're exceptional. They're really exceptional. Honestly, really, really solid. But this is coming up tomorrow night. If you want to get involved, atsonthis.tv/live, get your membership. You can literally come and join this private mastermind, this private Zoom session, and get a chance to jump on camera for some one-to-one. But here's some of the ladies. These are awesome. Actors, I hope you are ready for this, because to be honest with you, I don't know if this has ever been done before, right? I've got the most incredible invite for you all to the next atsonthis.tv live mastermind session taking place on Tuesday, the 23rd of February at 7:30 p.m. with not 1, but 5 of the best casting professionals in the entire business. That's right, casting director Sophie Holland and her entire team, Annalise, Chandra, Faye, Frankie, will be joining us for an incredible evening on Tuesday. Ladies, thank you so much for doing this. What are we going to be covering?
We're going to be talking about actors, casting actors for SVOD, so streamers, so Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Apple, all of those massive streamers at the moment, which is where we're sucking up all the talent for these really exciting projects.
Amazing. And you've got like 10 seconds. Anyone else want to chip in? Frankie, Chandra, don't want to just, leave you out. What do you want to bring to the party?
I think just like giving good, solid advice to actors who are ambitious and really like committed to the industry.
I love it. If you are ambitious and committed to the industry, okay, and you want to get involved with this, you want to literally jump on camera, have a little one-to-one with the entire team, get yourself over to atsonthis.tv/live right now for full details of this mastermind and all future masterminds as well. And this could be a team effort now, right, guys? Little bit of pressure. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
They're like the Spice Girls of the casting world.
You're the Spice Girls of the casting world. Who's who, though?
got Frankie's baby. Sophie is scary. Did we decide between Annalie and Chandra? I can't remember who we decided.
Chandra's posh, and I've ended up with Jerry, which is
Absolutely love it. They're going to be fighting it out for who is which Spice Girl. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want you guys to be there. actonthis.tv/live. actonthis.tv/live. If you want to get a membership and you want to come and find out who the Spice Girls of the casting world are, they're just so much fun. They're like, just, you know, they work obviously on very big, serious jobs, but they just don't take it super, super seriously in terms of like, you know, it's not stressful. Like I imagine auditioning on Zoom or something like that with those guys would just be absolutely great. And you know what? They are one of the most efficient casting teams ever. Anytime I email Sophie, I reached out because we did me and Sophie and Faye actually, but separately. They didn't come on together. Did sessions last year when we went into lockdown. And I said, next year, you know, we'll definitely get you on next year. And it was almost coming up to being a year since they were on. So I emailed Sophie last week, just to Sophie. I didn't have everybody's email address in the office. And I was like, listen, you know, we'd love to have you back on. You up for it? It's probably about 10 days ago, actually. And within, 6 minutes, I had an email back. Everyone was copied into it. We were throwing dates around already. And then within 15 minutes, it had been sorted and we had the date confirmed. It's so rare for that to happen. Normally, they're busy people as well. They're concurrently working on, I think, 3 projects right now. So they're just mega, mega efficient and just very, very good at their jobs. So they're perfect people to be reaching out to. You know, if you feel you've got something to offer, obviously, you know, you've got you've got a relevant reason to reach out. But we're going to find out exactly how they prefer people to get in touch with them and stuff. Tomorrow night, and exactly how you can get in touch and what they want to see and what they don't want to see and all those bits in between. So it will be a really good laugh, and it's all going to be rounded off with the loudest "bye for now," says Nick. Yes, when we do the tagline at the end. Those people haven't been on a mastermind, have a clue what you're talking about, but I always say "bye for now" at the end, and I get every guest to do it. We will have the loudest concurrent "bye for now" going. That was sick, Ross, says Andrew. Boom. There you go. Well, it will be sick in a good way. I remember when people started first saying sick, and I went, "What do you mean? That's sick? Like, does that not mean it's bad?" It means it's good, apparently. So that's tomorrow evening. And like I said, we've got a fantastic schedule for the rest of this month and going into March. I will announce the last guest in March at the start of March. So you will have a full. I'm gonna start issuing full schedules, only 4 weeks in advance. I can't do more than that because people drop out and schedules change when their jobs change and that sort of stuff. But I want to let you guys know at the start of the month really what's coming up. Did a one-to-one with Faye last year, says Mark. She was lovely. They're just top, honestly. They're just so good. And what might be worth doing for members of actonthis.tv, if you are a member before tomorrow night, if you've got time, you don't have to, what would be useful for you maybe if you go over to the members area, you will be able to find... Going to give you a little tour here. If you click on search, by the way, sometimes people are like, I can't find such and such a thing. Where is it? Just click on search at the top and this bar will drop down and then you can just write in here. I'm just going to write Holland because I think that will probably appear in both Faye and... So there you go. Knowledge is Power with casting associate Faye Timby from Sophie Holland Casting. That's just the weekly schedule. It's in there at the moment because the Zoom link for tomorrow night will be in there soon. And then Keep Knocking... and the door will open with the Witcher casting director Sophie Holland. Just if you might want to go and watch these, these replays of Sophie's last session before you come on tomorrow night, just so you know a bit more about her. Maybe we're not covering old ground, we're covering new stuff. I think they finished casting the second season of The Witcher, but there's other projects around that they're doing. So we won't be covering the same stuff that we covered last time. I want to make it as new and as exciting as possible. But yeah, go and watch Sophie's, and then there's his phase as well that's in there. Knowledge is Power with casting associate Faye Timby. Knowledge is power, though. It's the whole point of this website. Like I say, when people actually learn the real business of the business, things can change for them very, very quickly. So go and check those out. You can listen to the audio if you want. You don't have to just watch the video. The audio's there for everybody. If you want to watch the if you want to listen, if you maybe you're out walking the dog and you don't want to sit and watch a video, you can just listen to the audio only versions of those as well. But yeah, that's tomorrow night. actonthis.tv/live if you want to be there. Who's gonna be there? Let me know if you're gonna be able to make it tomorrow night. Sophie's last one was just so good. Can't wait for tomorrow's, says Alex. Decent, wasn't it? And Caroline says she watched Sophie's last one. It was great. They're just really open and honest. That's what I asked for in all of these. Just like, I think we just really get people at their most authentic when we do these. BS free. Rory's going to be there 100%. Rory, you better be, or else. So we can do. I can't believe it's 10-2 already. Yeah, this has gone. This all goes so fast every single week. Let's just do 10 minutes of a bit of Q&A if you want, or if anyone's got anything that they want to plug in front of the group, they want me to give them a shout out for something. Let me know. Mark says you might have to watch it on replay. Mark, the replay will be up on Wednesday afternoon, the replay, and I'll send an email out to all members as well to say the replay is up. Want to be casting The Witcher just to be close to Henry Cavill, says Ethan. Well, let's see how many seasons it goes on for. I think season 2 might have been done. I think they might have finished that. But aren't the rumours of all kinds of stuff around The Witcher? They're not doing like prequels and stuff like that, like they did with was it Game of Thrones they're doing a prequel for, isn't it? I'm sure The Witcher's doing something as well, though. Something like that I've read recently. I could be completely wrong. Ian says, really looking forward to tomorrow night. Nice one, Ian. I'll be there, says Michael. Super pumped. Did a workshop with Faye last year, and it was awesome. She is so lovely. And how good is it going to be? I'm so excited now. Now we're hearing that, we're only 6 months away from getting out of this shit where, we can go and see people in real life again, which will just be so great to do our acts on this meetups. We do a meetup for members on the first Saturday of every month, and it's great on Zoom, and we'll probably keep doing those. But I would love to do some in-person meetups as well. If Ross or anyone on TikTok, Mark, I've missed it. Facebook's not playing kindly with comments tonight since I've got a new MacBook, and I don't know if it's the new operating system I've installed, but everything's laying over it. But I've seen people been plugging stuff in the comments, like links and stuff. So feel free if you're here live to click those. If you're on the replay, it's completely pointless, but keep listening or keep watching anyway, because we'll find something good for you guys as well. All right, what's this? Slay says, can't wait till tomorrow. Can't find her email anywhere. We'll sort that out. We'll make sure everybody's got that tomorrow. I'm not going to say that on a public broadcast like this, but we'll make sure every member who needs to get in touch with her can do. If Ross or anyone needs help with TikTok, let me know. Nice one, Mark, because I have no idea. I've absolutely no idea how to create TikTok videos. I mean, because how do you do it? They like Vines used to be, in terms of you record a bit of the video at once and then you can stop it and then you can add a bit more to it. Or do you edit it somehow? Or do you edit it off TikTok and upload it to TikTok? Because there's some really clever in editing that I see on TikTok, and I'm wondering, is that done in-app? Or is that done, do people just doing that outside of the app and then uploading the final clip to the app? Because there's some really clever stuff, isn't there? And it all seems to be TikTok stuff. There's always that trending nature of a particular song, and then there'll be a drop within the song where the person changes. They're in the same place in the video, but then suddenly, boom, and they've changed costume, or they're in a different light or something. I don't know. There's a lot of that sort of stuff that I'm seeing going on, but I don't know how they do that. They're Vines, but shorter, says Chris. It's just piecing the bits of the video together. That's what I was just always wondered, how people are doing that. But yeah, interesting. If you've got any great examples of Vine videos, let me know. Send me them. I'd like to see what people are doing. And Elizabeth says she's got no clue how to use TikTok. Mark, maybe you should just do as a little TikTok tutorial. I've no idea what anyone is talking about here, says Ian. Just look up TikTok, Ian, download the app on your phone and just consume. That's what I always like to do when I'm starting out something new. I mean, I've got so many things I want to do, though. I mean, I'm getting, really into Clubhouse now as well. I want to start creating a lot of regular rooms on Clubhouse. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, it's an audio drop-in app for iPhone at the moment, but it will be out for Android as well. I think at the end of March, they're going to open it up to the public. And that's a way for us all, and this won't be a member-only thing. This will be open to everybody. That's just a way for us all to jump into a room and just chat together. I'll probably hold some member-only events that will be invite-only just for members. And it's just a great way for us to, chat. Because a lot of people, although we do the Zooms, a lot of people don't like always being on camera or having to get ready to be on camera or going, oh, you know what, I've just been to the gym, I look a mess. Not that you should be going to the gym at this point. But they're opening again in April. Yes. Maybe you don't feel like you're camera ready. So you don't have to worry about that. I love it. I'll literally lie in bed on Clubhouse and I'll just chat. That's the only problem is, though, it makes me stay up quite late. My sleep patterns are shot at the moment because of lockdown. I cannot wait for gyms to open and to get back into a routine. Although I did buy, if anybody is on Peloton, it's like an exercise bike that you can do live stuff on. Let me know, because I got one this weekend and it's killing me. I've only done 3 rides. The first ride I did was 20 minutes and I thought I was really fit. Nearly died. So hard. Spinning classes are so hard, and I never gave them any respect because I thought, spinning, it's like yoga, innit? Nah, I'll just stick to the weights. It's so hard. But apparently, if you you can like team up with people and do rides together. So if anyone is on it, let me know, and we'll go and have a little ride together. Only on. Sounded bad, didn't it? Definitely. Faye was on a Clubhouse room this evening and mentioned that's on this.tv. No way, was she? Nice one, Faye. Total legend. Yeah, good on her. There's loads of people in the group as well. In the Facebook group who are giving invites out, by the way. If anyone needs an invite, there's an abundance in the Facebook group for Act on This.tv's Facebook group. It's just facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. Just go and ask in the group. There's people with loads of invites, constantly giving them out. So that's good. Michael says, I love spin. Can't wait to get back to that. I didn't realise just how hard it is, Michael. Honestly. Just difficult, man. I had to go. I only did a 20-minute before Amy. Before I told you, didn't I? Before I did a podcast with Amy on Saturday on her podcast, and I thought, I'll just get 20 minutes in before I go and do the podcast. I had to go and lie down for 30 minutes just for a 20-minute ride. I was like, I just had it, Anna. Lockdown has ruined me. On the treadmill as we speak, says Ethan, lost 6 kilograms since January. Another 6 to go. Wow, man, nice one. Well, you go. I mean, I feel like I am on the treadmill now. So, if you could burn some calories for me, Ethan, that would be great. Technically, we're all working out together. Michael's with you. Elizabeth is with you. Alex is here. Alicia's here. We're all burning the calories with you, Ethan. If you could share them out amongst us, that would be great. We can all get a calorie deficit. Maya says, I'm on Clubhouse now, but not used it yet. Too busy with courses, training, etc. Think of Maya. Think of Clubhouse as radio, interactive radio. I just have it sat on my desk sometimes, listening to interesting conversations. There's a lot of bullshit on there. There's some real Billy Big Bollocks on there, where people's bios are like, anyone in the entrepreneurial space, there's so much shit on there. People just, big wang syndrome, just going, I help people with 7 million this and this, that, and the other. And you're just like, just a lot of nonsense and sort of egos. But you've got it when you seek out some of the good rooms and just, the smaller rooms as well are the ones where you can have a real decent conversation. There's some cracking ones on there. And I will be doing more of those rooms. I'm going to do a regular room, I think, on a Wednesday evening, probably 7 till 9 on a Wednesday. And it's just going to be, again, just a bring your own topic kind of thing. We might theme them some nights. On certain areas of the industry, but other times they will just be, listen, what's your burning sort of issue right now that you need help with, and then if we get enough people in the group, we can all help everybody with that. So I think that'll be really cool. That'll be a decent one. And Alex is stuck in a 10-day quarantine, eating everything in the house. Oh, Alex, we're gonna have to do a lot of extra treadmilling for you, mate. we will sort that out. I can't believe it's 3 minutes to 10. I'm going in a minute. Do you know what I found before? And I'm going to play you a video because I don't know if anybody. I don't know if there's anyone here who even used to watch it. Remember a couple of years ago when I did a vlog, a behind the scenes, literally of my life. Like, I know that sounds like a real egotistical, twatty thing to do, but I just wanted to show people that I was implementing. That ultimately I was acting on it. The one thing that annoys me about, not just in this industry, just about people in life, is there's lots of like so-called coaches out there who talk all the talk, and it's all just bullshit. They're not doing any of it themselves. They're just, I'm going to create a course on this, and then it's all just to make money, and they're not actually implementing their own advice. And I was like, to show people that what I'm putting out on Acts on This and what casting directors are coming on and saying and what all our guests are saying, I'm going to show you behind the scenes in my life where I implement this. And I did this vlog every week for 2 years. Maybe it was every week, or it was, mostly anyway, for nearly 2 years, I think. We did like 4 seasons of it. and I put it on YouTube. And I found some clips of it the other day, and I thought, God, you know what? Looking back at it, I'm quite proud of the consistency. It was called Watch Ross. Again, a bit of a wanky thing to call it, but it's all I could think of. And I'm going to play, I found before the trailer for episode 1 of this vlog. And this literally was, this is sort of like how Petch started working for Acts on This. I just gave him a camera one day. I said, Petch, I'm going out, and I was doing voiceovers. We actually caught on camera where I landed the biggest voiceover job I've ever had in my life. You get the call from my agent, and then you get to see behind the scenes of us going and doing the job. And we just literally filmed everything and edited an episode together every week. If you go to youtube.com/watch Ross, just click through a couple of episodes, because I'm thinking, I got excited when I heard lockdown was finishing today. I thought, you know what? I said to Petch, as soon as it's done, we need to do once a month. We won't do one every week. I can't do it every week because it took up a lot of time editing and stuff like that. But I was like, we'll do like one episode a month behind the scenes. Again, just to show that I'm all this stuff that I'm putting out on Acts on This, basically, that it's legit. I'm doing it myself. So yeah, youtube.com/watch Ross. If you want to just check it out, and I'll play you now. I'll finish on this. I'll play. It's only a 1-minute trailer. It's a 60-second trailer for the first episode, and the first episode was kind of, I was trying at the time to get the BBC to do I was trying to get the BBC to do a documentary on me. Now, again, that sounds like an absolute knobbish thing to say, but it's because of my eye condition. I wanted a science documentary on the degenerative eye condition that I've got, because I wanted to sort of explain it to everybody and sort of, go behind the scenes and do research on potential cures and stuff that are out there. So I think the first one is sort of us behind the scenes of like phone calls of trying to get the documentary done. I buy a drone as well. And I try and fly the drone for the first time as a partially sighted man. It's quite interesting. I'm not going to tell you what happened to the drone or what happened to the dog, but you will see a little bit in the trailer now. But yeah, if you want to go over and check it out, let me know if you would like any more episodes. Because if you don't, I won't obviously film anything. If you go, Ross, this is shit, I'm not interested. I obviously won't film any more episodes. But I might end up, if you do think it's funny, I might end up filming an episode once a month just behind the scenes of Acts on This, and Petch will probably come and work here again as opposed to working remotely and stuff. It'll just be a bit of a laugh, and hopefully we'll get some of you guys on it as well. So I'll love you and leave you. It's bang on 10 o'clock. If you do want to join us tomorrow night, please come and get involved. If you've been sat on the fence and you've been like, should I get a membership? Should I not get a membership? Try it out for 1 month. Come and get involved in this call tomorrow night to see how freaking legit this community is, how amazing all these people live tonight on Facebook who are in the community are. Brendan, Elizabeth, Ethan, Michael, everybody who's here live. Come and meet these guys on a mastermind session as well. You'll get to sort of just become part of an incredible community, meet people who will potentially be your friends for life and will support you in your career moving forward. So actonthis.tv/live if you want to get involved. And I will now play, because I found it before, the trailer. Honestly, I look back at this and think, God, it was such good fun. Honestly, not a care in the world. Just a couple of years ago going, come on, we've got to get the acting work, come on. And then just filming the crazy adventures, and also try to set up different businesses on this vlog as well. Try to set up a clothing company on the side. Interesting. So I'll play this out for you now. But yeah, I want to see you tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. If I can do anything for you, drop me a tweet at ActOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant, and youtube.com/watch Ross. If you want to watch any more of this, go and see what happens to this drone and this dog anyway. Until next time, lots of love. Bye for now. Should we see what happens? Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? I told her to talk to a guy called Steve Crabtree, who's the editor of Horizons, to see if he wants to do a documentary on me.
And I'm ringing with news from Steve Crabtree himself.
This is probably confidential.
Kill it.
Kill it. I'm going to kill Fashion. For the record, that screaming, if you can hear that, it's nothing to do with me or Sean.
Some of them guns I thought, they're nice guns.
I look a bit different without my top on, and I do with a top on. Oh, falling over. Got a dodgy eye condition, basically. That was no peripheral vision there, why I missed the initial fist pump.
Wait. Oh.
Yeah.
possibly the worst mistake I could ever have made.